Today we are going to start with a new topic, that is electrolytic cells and electrolysis. Now, what is the meaning of electrolysis? It is the process of decomposition of an electrolyte by passage of electricity through its aqueous or molten solution. So, in electrolysis we have to pass electric current, and as a result of passing electric current, the electrolyte is dissociated, or we can say that the electrical energy is changed into chemical energy. Okay, now for doing electrolysis we use cells, and these cells are known as electrolytic cells. Okay, so what are electrolytic cells now? These are the devices which convert electrical energy into chemical energy. New chemicals are produced. So we can say that this is the reverse of our electrochemical or galvanic cell, in which chemical energy was changed to electrical. So here reverse thing is happening. Okay, so today we are going to discuss the construction of an electrolytic cell. Okay, what type of reaction take place in electrolytic cell? So this is a simple diagram of an electrolytic cell. Okay, you can see a vessel, okay, which is containing the solution, and this vessel is known as electrolytic tank. Now this tank can be made up of glass or any material which should be bad conductor of electricity. Okay, so tank is made up of a substance which does not conduct electricity. Generally we take glass. Now in this tank we fill a solution whose electrolysis has to be done, and this solution is known as electrolyte. Okay, now either aqueous or molten solution is taken. For example, aqueous sodium chloride, molten sodium chloride, like this. Now there are two metallic rods which are kept in the electrolyte, and these metallic rods are known as electrodes. Okay, and these two rods are connected to battery. Now the rod which is connected to positive terminal of battery is known as anode, and the rod which is connected to negative terminal of the battery is known as cathode. So what will happen? Current is passed from battery. The current will pass through this anode and cathode, and ultimately the current will go into the solution, and your electrolytic solution is dissociated into ions, and the movement of ions will conduct electricity. So let's see how it happens. Now here I am taking the example of molten NaCl. Okay, we can say electrolysis of molten NaCl. So when current is passed here, what will happen? It will dissociate into ions. Okay, now both positive and negative ions are formed here, and these ions will move towards the opposite rod. Okay, so positive ion will move towards cathode and negative ion will move towards anode. So let's see what happens at anode. Now the negative ion will move towards anode. Now what is my negative ion? Cl minus. It will move towards anode, and we know that at anode always oxidation occurs. Okay, so at anode your oxidation will take place. Now this is same as electrochemical cell. Okay, so Cl plus electron, and one Cl plus second Cl will change to chlorine gas. So there is evolution of chlorine gas at anode. Now this is oxidation which is taking place at anode. Now let's see what happens at cathode. Now which will go at cathode? Your Na plus, and at cathode always reduction occurs. So Na plus will gain that electron and will change to Na. So this is how electrolysis is done. So you can see that your sodium chloride now dissociates and produces two new chemicals, chlorine gas as well as molten sodium or sodium metal here. So this electrolysis find wide application in metallurgy. This is one of the important methods of metallurgy. This electrolysis we use for refining of metals. So electrolysis or electrolytic cells are basically used in metallurgical processes. That is for the extraction of metals from their ores. Now we can say that the main purpose of electrolysis is to produce new chemicals. For example, when we pass current through sodium chloride, we get two new chemicals, that is sodium metal and chlorine gas. Okay, so now we have to discuss quantitative aspects of electrolysis. Now quantitative aspects means, for example, if I am passing current through a solution, how much amount of sodium is produced, how much chlorine gas is evolved. Okay, quantitative means to calculate the quantity of the chemicals which are produced during the electrolytic refining or electrolytic dissociation. So in this respect we have Faraday's laws. Faraday performed a large number of experiments and summed up his results in the form of laws. So we have two laws of Faraday, that is Faraday's first law and Faraday's second law. So first we'll discuss Faraday's first law of electrolysis. Now what is the statement of first law? The amount of any substance deposited or liberated at any electrode is directly proportional to the quantity of electricity passed through the solution. Okay, means greater is the electricity passed through the solution, more will be the amount of substance deposited or liberated. Okay, you pass current for a larger period of time, more and more elements will be obtained. So we can sum up this like W is proportional to Q. Now what is W? It is the weight of the substance. And what is Q here? Q is the amount of electricity. Okay. Now if we remove the proportionality sign, we'll get a constant, and here the constant is Z, and this Z is known as electrochemical equivalent of the substance. Okay. For each particular element, we have a value of Z which is known as electrochemical equivalent. It means W is equal to Z into Q. So if you know the value of Z, if you know the value of electricity, you can calculate the amount of substance produced. Okay. Now, what is how to calculate Q? Okay. So Q is charge basically. Okay. So we can write Q is equal to I into T. Now what is I here? Current. Okay. In amperes, and T is the time period. So we can write the formula W is equal to ZIT. So this formula we can use for calculating the weight of substance deposited. Okay. Now sometimes the question comes, how will you define electrochemical equivalent? Means define this Z. So how to define Z? So in order to define any constant, what we do? We keep the other things 1. Okay, suppose if I want to define this Z, I will keep I equal to 1 and T equal to 1. So what will happen? Z will be equal to W. So what is Z now? Okay, so how will you define Z? The weight of substance produced when 1 ampere is passed for 1 second. So when you pass 1 ampere current for 1 second through a solution, whatever W comes, that W will be equal to Z. And this Z we have calculated for almost all the elements. For example, for copper the value of Z is this. For zinc the value of Z is this, by passing 1 ampere current for 1 second. Now let's see the Faraday's second law. Faraday's second law says that when same quantity of electricity is passed through different electrolytic solutions connected in series. So I have taken two solutions here. One is silver nitrate and second is copper sulfate, and these two are connected in series. You know series combination. Okay, same current is passed. Now what will happen? The weight of the substances produced at the respective electrodes are directly proportional to their equivalent weight. Now what is the meaning of this? In the first container silver nitrate is taken. So which element will be deposited? Silver. In the second container copper sulfate is taken. So which element will be deposited? Copper. Okay. Even if you are passing the same amount of current, same amount of electricity, same amount of current, same for the same period of time, then also the amount will be different. The amount is proportional to the equivalent weight. For example, if the equivalent weight of silver is more silver will be deposited as compared to copper. Okay, so weight of any substance deposited is directly proportional to the equivalent weight also. So I can write like this: weight of copper upon weight of silver is equal to equivalent weight of copper upon equivalent weight of silver. Okay, so greater is the equivalent weight of a substance, more its quantity will be deposited. So these are the two laws of Faraday's. Okay, and with the help of these laws we can predict what quantity of the substance will be deposited at the respective electrode. Okay, but nowadays what happens? In the first formula I require electrochemical equivalent, Z I require for calculating W, and if I use the second law I require the equivalent weight of any element. Nowadays the concept of equivalent weight is not used. Okay, instead of equivalent weight we use molecular weight nowadays. So how to find out the amount of substance deposited? Okay, because if I use the first formula I require Z, and if I use the second formula I require equivalent weight, which is not used nowadays. So nowadays what happens? The amount of substance deposited is calculated in terms of electron transfer. Now what is the meaning of this? Let's see. So I can modify the Faraday's laws. So amount of substance deposited or liberated is now proportional to number of moles of electron which is exchanged during the reaction, or you can say redox reaction. Now what is the meaning of this? We took the example of sodium chloride. Okay. Now sodium chloride means Na plus and Cl minus. Suppose I want to calculate that how much sodium is produced. So I will write the reaction like this: Na plus plus electron gives Na. So this is the reduction reaction. Now this is 1 mole, this is 1 mole, and this is also 1 mole. For depositing 1 mole of sodium, I require 1 mole electrons. Okay. Now 1 mole of sodium is equal to 23 grams. It's gram atomic mass. This we know according to the mole concept. Okay, so in order to deposit 23 gram of sodium, how many electrons I require? I require 1 mole electrons. So this concept we will be using for calculating the amount. Now let's see what happens. What is the charge on 1 electron? Charge on 1 electron is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. Now what will be the charge on 1 mole electron? You know the meaning of mole? Mole means Avogadro number. So it is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 multiplied by 6.02 into 10 to the power 23. This is your Avogadro number. And this value is approximately 96,500 coulombs. And this, you know, it is known as 1 Faraday. You know, this is Faraday constant. This value is basically 1 Faraday, 1F. Okay. So what is 1 Faraday? 1 Faraday is the charge on 1 mole of electrons. That is 96,500 coulombs. It means if I want to deposit 23 gram of sodium, how much charge I have to supply? I have to supply this much of charge. This is the latest concept which we are using in calculating the substance deposited. We are taking one more example here. Suppose we take the example of aluminium. Okay, I am passing current through a solution of aluminium salt, and you know what is the reaction? Al3 plus 3 electrons gives Al. This is how your aluminium will be deposited. Valency of aluminium is 3 only. This is 1 mole, this is 3 moles, and this is 1 mole. It means if I want to deposit 1 mole of aluminium, how many electrons I require? 3 moles. This is the number. And what will be the charge? So charge will be, now what is the charge on 1 mole of electron? 1 Faraday. So what will be the charge on 3 moles of electron? 3 Faraday. So if you pass 3 Faraday charge, 3 Faraday charge means 3 into 96,500 coulombs. Your aluminium deposited will be 1 mole. 1 mole aluminium means 27 grams. So this concept will be using in solving our questions. So one question I am taking here. A solution of copper sulfate is electrolyzed for 10 minutes by passing a current of 1.5 amperes. Okay. So I am passing a current of 1.5 amperes for 10 minutes. What is the mass of copper deposited at the cathode? So how to solve this question? So we know that at cathode reduction occurs. So the reaction will be Cu2 plus 2 electrons gives Cu. Okay, now you can use one thing, that in electrochemical cells also we use reductions, and in electrolytic cells also we prefer reductions. We'll write only reduction reaction. So this is 1 mole and this is 2 electron. 2 electron means 2 mole electron. 2 mole electron means how much charge? 2 Faraday. Okay, and what is the atomic mass of copper? The atomic mass of copper is 63.5 grams. Okay, so this information I have derived, that if I pass 2 Faraday charge, this much copper will be deposited. But I am not passing 2 Faraday charge. What charge I am passing? I into T, that is 10 into 1.5. Sorry, we can write like this, current is 1.5 into 10. Now it is in minutes, so we'll change it into seconds. Multiplied by 60, so it will be 900 coulombs. So we are passing 900 coulombs charge. Now how to solve the question? 2 into 96,500 coulombs gives copper equal to 63.5 gram. Therefore 900 coulombs will give copper equal to 63.5 upon 2 into 96,500 into 900. And this will give you the answer, and your answer will be 0.29 grams. Now it means how much copper is deposited? 0.3 or 0.29 gram. So we use the concept of electron transfer for calculating the mass of a substance.